General Hospital Wednesday, October 15th update. Rick's surprise hero. Molly reports dad missing. Traces legal help. Port Charles wakes up to chaos, heartbreak, and shocking turns on this gripping midweek episode of General Hospital. The calm before the storm is officially over, and Wednesday, October 15th, delivers a whirlwind of twists that will leave fans stunned. From Rick Lansing's mysterious disappearance to Molly's desperate cry for help and Trace's unexpected act of loyalty, every storyline intertwines into a web of suspense, betrayal, and redemption. It's a grey morning in Port Charles as the clock ticks past 7 a.m. Rick Lansing's phone lies on his office desk, screen cracked, calls unanswered, and text messages piling up. For a man who never misses a court date, his absence sends shockwaves through the legal world. At the Metro Court, Alexis Davis arrives for breakfast with Molly, expecting to discuss law school applications. Instead, she's met with a worried daughter tapping her phone incessantly.
"Mom, something's wrong. Dad never came home last night. He didn't answer my calls, and his car isn't at his apartment."
That's not like him.
Alexis freezes.
Rick's past, his enemies, his rivalries, his complicated life, flashes before her eyes. The mob, old grudges, bad deals, anything could have happened. Before Alexis can respond, Christina arrives, overhearing Molly's panicked voice. "Don't tell me Dad's missing again," Christina says, half joking but visibly tense. Molly glares at her sister, clutching her phone tightly. "This isn't a joke, Christina. Dad promised he'd call after court yesterday, and he didn't." Alexis sighs, trying to stay calm for her daughters. "Let's not jump to conclusions. Maybe his phone died, or he took on a last-minute case." But deep down, Alexis knows something is off. Rick had been investigating something big, something involving Drew Kane and the mysterious woman connected to his shooting.
Rick had hinted that he was close to uncovering the truth.
Meanwhile, at Aurora Media,
Drew is already on edge. His bandaged arm is a reminder of how close he came to death.
Carly walks in with coffee, concern in her eyes.
"You didn't sleep again, did you?" she asks.
"You're chasing ghosts, Drew. Let the PCPD handle it."
Drew shakes his head.
"No, Carly. The shooter's identity isn't random. Rick Lansing was onto something. He told me yesterday that the person behind this was closer than I thought."
Carly frowns. "Rick? What does he have to do with any of this?" Drew's expression darkens.
"He said he had evidence, something that could blow the whole thing wide open. Then he vanished." Carly's protective instincts kick in. She's seen this before, people disappearing just as they uncover the truth.
"We need to find him.
If Rick's missing,
someone wanted him gone."
At GH, Elizabeth Weber finishes her night shift and overhears Jordan Ashford talking with Dante Falconeri about Rick's disappearance. The two detectives exchange theories, suspecting foul play. Dante mentions, last ping from Rick's phone was near the docks.
After that, nothing.
No car, no witnesses, no trace.
Lizzie's heart sinks.
Rick may not be a saint, but his family, Molly's father and someone who's tried to rebuild his life. That's when Hamilton Finn approaches with a new update. "We just got an anonymous call. Someone saw a man matching Rick's description pulled into a black SUV last night." The name Brennan surfaces again, a ghostly whisper of the WSB agent whose presence has been haunting Port Charles in recent months. But Brennan isn't the only player in this deadly chess game. Enter Jason Morgan, quietly stepping into the station. His expression unreadable. He tells Dante, "I have reason to believe Rick isn't dead. He's being held somewhere, and I think I know who's helping him." Everyone turns to look at Jason. "It's someone unexpected," Jason continues. "Someone Rick once tried to destroy, someone who now owes him their life." Across town, at the Quatermain mansion, Tracy Quatermain is in rare form. She's preparing for a high-stakes board meeting when Brooklyn bursts into the study. "Grandmother, you need to see this," Brooklyn says, showing her an alert from the PCPD. Attorney Rick Lansing reported missing.
Tracy narrows her eyes.
"Rick Lansing, why does that name always bring trouble?"
Brooklyn hesitates.
"Because he helped us last year, when Chase was falsely accused. He took the case pro bono." Tracy sighs, her sharpness softening for a moment. She remembers Rick's determination, his relentless pursuit of justice, even when it didn't benefit him personally. Then, an unexpected visitor arrives, Diane Miller. "Tracy, I heard you've got influence with Judge Wallace. The department needs authorization to search private property tied to one of your companies. Rick may have been taken there."
Tracy arches a brow.
My company?
Which one? Diane flips through her file.
Quartermain Holdings, specifically, an abandoned shipping yard near Pier 47. Trace's expression shifts from skepticism to alarm. That property's been inactive for years.
Brooklyn whispers. Or maybe not.
Dante, Jordan, and Jason race to the docks with warrants in hand. The air is heavy with tension and the faint scent of salt and danger. Flashlights sweep across the abandoned warehouse as Drew and Carly arrive shortly after, defying Jordan's orders to stay out of it. Inside, chaos awaits. Broken glass, scattered papers, and a half-burned file bearing Rick's name.
Dante kneels beside a bloodstained jacket.
It's Rick's.
Carly gasps. Drew clenches his fists.
Jason remains stone-faced. Suddenly, a faint sound echoes from the shadows. A cough. The beam of a flashlight catches movement. Everyone rushes forward. And there, half-conscious but alive, lies Rick Lansing. Molly's father is bruised, battered, but breathing. As Dante calls for medics, Rick weakly grabs Jason's wrist. She saved me, he whispers hoarsely. Tell Alexis, she's back. Jason's eyes widen.
Who's back? Rick manages 2 words before losing consciousness.
Hayden Barnes.
Back at GH, Rick is stabilized.
When he wakes, Alexis, Molly, and Christina are waiting. The moment is emotional. Molly rushes to her father's side, tears in her eyes. Dad, we thought you were gone. Rick musters a faint smile. Almost was. But someone pulled me out before they could finish the job. Alexis leans closer. Who? Rick? Who saved you? Rick looks toward the doorway, where a familiar figure stands, hair darker, eyes filled with secrets.
Hayden Barnes steps into the room. Carly gasps.
You've got to be kidding me. Hayden folds her arms. Miss me? Molly stares in disbelief. You're supposed to be dead.
Hayden smirks. That's what I wanted people to think.
But when I found Rick bleeding out near the pier, I couldn't just walk away. He helped me once. I returned the favor. Alexis, however, isn't convinced. You expect us to believe you just happened to be there.
Hayden meets her gaze.
Believe what you want, Alexis.
But someone wanted Rick gone because he was getting too close to the truth about Drew's shooting.
And now, they'll come for me next. Meanwhile, Jason and Drew regroup at the Metro Court with Carly and Diane. They piece together the fragments Rick left behind. Documents, coded notes, and a photograph of a woman wearing a distinctive silver bracelet.
Diane narrows her eyes. That bracelet. I've seen it before. Carly leans closer. Where?
Diane hesitates. It belonged to Claudia Zaccara.
Carly's jaw drops.
But Claudia's dead.
Jason frowns.
Unless she isn't. The name sends shivers through the room. The thought that Claudia could be alive, and possibly the woman behind Drew's shooting, opens a terrifying new chapter. But Rick's file also reveals something more immediate. Tracy Quartermain's shipping yard was being used as a cover for offshore accounts linked to a shell corporation, one that secretly funded the attempted hit. When Jason confronts Tracy later that evening, her reaction is pure fury mixed with guilt.
Don't look at me like that, Jason. I didn't authorize any of this.
Someone's been using my company, and I want to know who.
Jason studies her carefully.
Then prove it. Help us find them.
Tracy squares her shoulders. Fine.
You'll have my legal team, and my money. By nightfall, Tracy is back in control mode. She gathers Ned, Brooklyn, and Lois in the Quartermain living room, declaring war. Someone's using our name to launder money through fake accounts, and they tried to kill Rick Lansing to keep him quiet. We're going to expose them.
Brooklyn looks nervous. Do you think this ties back to deception?
To what happened with Sasha and the IPO?
Tracy nods grimly.
Everything connects in this town, Bro Oki. The same people pulling strings there may be the ones targeting Drew and Rick. Lois folds her arms. So what's the plan?
Tracy smirks. Simple. We use the law against them.
I've already contacted a federal attorney, and I made sure Alexis Davis is on board. The 2 powerhouse women, Tracy and Alexis, forming an alliance shocks everyone, including Ned. You and Alexis working together? That's like oil and fire.
Tracy retorts. Exactly. Which means we'll burn brighter.
While chaos brews around her, Molly steps up in a way no one expects. Determined to clear her father's name and uncover who's behind the attack, she heads to the PCPD and demands to join the investigation as Rick's legal liaison.
Jordan hesitates.
Molly, this is dangerous.
Molly's voice doesn't waver.
I'm not a child anymore, Commissioner. I'm an attorney, and Rick Lansing is my father. If someone tried to silence him, I'll make sure they fail. Christina watches proudly from the sidelines, whispering to Alexis, "She's got Dad's fire."
Alexis nods, teary-eyed.
And my stubbornness. As Molly combs through Rick's case files, she finds something everyone missed, a coded note scribbled in the corner of a legal document. When decoded, it spells out 3 haunting words. Brennan isn't done.
As night falls over Port Charles, Rick rests in his hospital bed.
Hayden sits nearby, guarding him like a hawk. When the lights flicker, she stiffens. From the shadows, a voice whispers, "You shouldn't have come back, Hayden."
Before she can react, the window shatters.
A dart flies through the air, embedding into the wall inches from Rick's head. Hayden dives for cover as hospital security bursts in, but the attacker is gone. Moments later, Jason, Drew, and Anna Devane arrive. Anna inspects the dart and frowns.
"This isn't just a warning," she says.
"It's a message from Brennan's network. Rick's still a target." Drew looks over at Rick, whose eyes flutter open once more.
"You can't stop this," Rick mutters. "It's already begun."
The woman, the one behind my attack.
Anna leans closer. "Who, Rick?"
"Who gave the order?" Rick breathes heavily, whispering the name just before fading back into unconsciousness.
"Claudia."
"Zakara." Anna and Jason exchange a stunned look.
Carly gasps.
Hayden grips the bedrail, whispering, "She's supposed to be dead." Anna replies coldly, "Not anymore." As the episode closes, the pieces fall into place, but the danger multiplies. At the Quatermain mansion, Tracy receives a cryptic text.
"You should have stayed out of this.
Your empire will burn next."
CZ.
In GH, Hayden watches over Rick as he sleeps, unaware that a shadowy figure in a nurse's uniform is standing just outside his door. At Aurora Media, Drew opens an encrypted email from an unknown sender. Inside is a video clip, grainy footage from the night he was shot. A woman in heels walks away from the scene, bracelet glinting under the streetlight. And as Carly enters the office, Drew's voice shakes.
"Carly, it's her. Claudia's alive."
The screen fades to black as a haunting voice echoes from the preview teaser. The past never dies in Port Charles. It just waits for the right moment to strike. Claudia Zakara resurfaces with a vengeance. Tracy and Alexis form an uneasy alliance to expose Brennan's network. Hayden faces an old enemy who knows her deepest secret. Molly's courage brings her closer to the truth and danger. Rick becomes the key to stopping a new criminal empire before it destroys Port Charles. And in the shadows, someone else watches, waiting for the perfect moment to return. Wednesday, October 15's General Hospital wasn't just another day in Port Charles. It was the beginning of a reckoning. Heroes rose, alliances shifted, and one family's loyalty changed the course of everything. As the city holds its breath, one thing becomes clear.